Hello, MouseHunt. Welcome to Feedback Friday. It's October 7, 2022. Hello to everybody in the chat. Hope you're all doing well today. Hello, KDM, Sally, David, Matt, Chong. Good morning, everybody. Well, today, and I know I say this often, that it's going to be a brief Feedback Friday, but I think I'm going to stay true to my word today. I'm getting over a little bit of illness, primarily a sore throat. So I'm not going to overdo it with my voice, but Jacob's off today, and I was away for a couple weeks as well. So it's been a while since I've been able to join y'all on Feedback Friday. So I thought I'd pop on, say hello at least, as well as just kind of take a quick little look at the Halloween event that is coming next week. Hello to you, Sean. Hello, everyone, including Dave. How's the hunting going? I hope everyone's hunting's going well today. But yes, Halloween is on its way. It's going to launch on Wednesday. So Monday here in Canada is a holiday, and we don't do code pushes on the first day, our first business day of the week, if you will. So it's going to be launching on Wednesday, which is, I'm going to tempt fate here and say it's October 12. Yes, indeed, it is October 12. I wrote it down and everything. And as pretty sure we've mentioned already, it's going to be the return of Baba Gaga and the Boiling Cauldrons. We've incorporated a little bit of feedback from previous years, or just last year actually. This was the second time the Boiling Cauldron's running. A few quality of life improvements, kind of just tuned up the interface a little bit, incorporated some player feedback. There's a couple new potions as well, a couple teasers up there in the corner. Two of those are potions, and the other is Insidious Incense Sticks, which are going to replace the Gloomy Greenwood charms. You will be able to trade your charms for this new item, and you burn it from the HUD, kind of similar to bottled wind, lantern oil, that sort of resource, and that keeps your charm slot free, so you can be rolling up spooky charms should you so desire, or be using something, an unstable charm, whatever you like to use during event season. Just kind of changes that what the charm did into something that you burn from the HUD. Exalted, hope you feel better soon. Thank you for the well wishes. I'm on the mend. I think I'll be back up and running within a couple days here, but I wouldn't tempt fate, won't overdo it with my voice, and we'll keep things pretty brief today. Jonathan, hello to you as well. Nathan, Dave, we missed you. I missed you all as well. That's what I thought. It's extra excited to at least pop on and say hello. I don't know why my horn's not sounding. I went on a hunt. Come on. Uh-oh. Is my fancy horn timer broken? Might be broken. I hunted. All the best laid plans. KDM, any new traps or bases? We're trying something new this year, and so a challenge we often have with events and kind of having a weapon base, something along that lines, is that there isn't always a good reward space there. And I often call it reward for the sake of a reward, or trying to brainstorm and come up with something, and there just isn't quite the right idea. Like the time and the place isn't right to add a new piece of hunting equipment. But the event still is, going to arrive nonetheless, right? And so we're going to try something a little different this year with focusing in on that cauldron trap. And you're going to be able to, it's going to get a buff during the event as well. And this kind of let us know. We're going to be keeping a close eye on feedback as far as that goes, to kind of see what hunters think of the new, this kind of new format, whether it's something we want to apply to other events or not, and kind of leave some of those cool traps and bases and that types of reward for permanent content, new adventures, kind of things you earn in game as well. Sometimes it can be a bit awkward in that, events aren't as long as maybe a grand adventure would take. So it's really hard for some of these things from events to compete with some of this other epic gear that you earn in other spots in the game. So, wait, you went on a hunt. Are you playing games at work all day, every day? So, definitely, that's the beauty of MouseHunt. It's so easy to play while you're doing something else. It's the perfect companion game for your workday. As also in well, poor Horn, get well soon, buddy. You're the best. Yeah, I'll have to do a little R&D. The timer was working, but look at that, the horn, it wasn't detecting that I went on a hunt. You leave something alone for 2 weeks and it breaks itself. Imagine that, the life of a programmer. Horn is gone for bed rest. But that's about all the major changes. Is that the charm is now an item up in the HUD, and like I said, you'll be able to, I believe, via the hunter's hammer, you'll be able to kind of convert your charms into this new HUD fuel, and then that's great. Now you can hunt with a different charm during the event. If you have a little bit of a weaker trap and you want to use something to boost your stats, although the event mice aren't the most challenging mice in the game, so you might opt for something like a spooky charm and start upgrading those. Unstable charms, gift wrap charms, if you have some of those from the winter hunt. Those are kind of nice things to use during event times. Damn it, are we still collecting a Halloween orb to use later? Yes, indeed. So the cursed skulls are going to return. They're on the reward track as they were last year, and you can save those and smash them at your convenience to receive their bonus whenever you would like. And I know I kind of held on to some for quite a while. I think I smashed my first one when I started to go on a Mythweaver run, and I had a good amount of final drafts. I was like, I'm going to use one of my cursed skulls here. YX Dave, will the charms be made available this Halloween? No. So they're basically an item of the past, like many other event gear, event cheeses and charms. The charms will no longer be available at all via the event because they've been replaced with that HUD item, and you'll be able to exchange it as well. So they're basically a memento, a vintage item, if you will. I'm trying to think. I think we've kind of covered all the bases. I mean, there's definitely a few other little kind of tweaks to interfaces. Try to smooth out a few rough edges from kind of player feedback and sentiment from previous years. I'm missing the trick and treat mechanics. I have a little nostalgia for that as well. Visiting your player or your friends' profiles, getting the trick or the treat cheese, ghoul gonzola or candy corn cheese, the cobwebs, ringing doorbells. We'll see. Maybe that'll draw some inspiration for whatever is the next version of the Halloween event that we would run. Maybe we can draw some inspiration from that one day. Yeah, Exalted. You think much like I do as well there in the chat. Always a fan of freeing up the charm slot. You can spend the event upgrading snowball charms. Exactly. I like to do that as well. I saw my Halloween cheese, proof that I played for years. And it's just an adorable cheese, eh? I like the Ghoul Gonzola for some reason. That is one of the more cute looking cheese in the game, if you ask me. YX, who's the boss mouse for this Halloween? It is Baba Gaga, so she has returned. It's still kind of her stomping ground, if you will. And as well as this is kind of, we're going to keep a close eye on feedback of this as well, but we're trying to find kind of a good spot for all the events to sit in where we can kind of, they all have a good identity, kind of some fun gameplay elements, and a unique sort of reward structure that's associated with them. To kind of hopefully have those be the event for a few years and help us devote a little bit more time to adding new adventures and new permanent things into the game. Because they have a very good sort of synergy there, or a complementary relationship, I'd say, where the events kind of give you things to help in other adventures. But if events come out at a greater pace than permanent adventures, then they kind of, I don't know, they take the wind out of each other's sail that way. It's kind of nice if they're a little bit more on equal footing, because during an event season, if you kind of learn some or earn something to help you out during your adventures, it's good that you kind of have some other adventures that you're invested in as well. Jonathan asks, are the potions from last year returning? Any changes to them? Yeah, as far as I know, all the same potions are coming back, and you know what? I won't even go to a limb and say that the costs have remained the same. I don't know if we've tweaked any or not. Like I said, I was away for a couple of weeks. I wasn't too deeply involved in the Halloween, so I'll have to be safe not to misspeak too much. Nullis, is the football locker coming back? No plans to kind of repeat that at all. I definitely kind of want to tone down the events a little bit. It got to the point where we were spending all of our time basically making events, and it left very little time to make adventures. And then kind of players would run out of things to do very quickly, and the events are temporary as well. So a lot of time and effort goes into them, which they're a lot of fun. But then inevitably they kind of get scrapped and put away and replaced with something else. Where it'd be nice to achieve a little bit of better balance, because even new players signing up for the game, they get to go through all these adventures and experience all that. Whereas a temporary event, they'll kind of never get to experience that again. Yes, I'll also love the original Halloween event with Candy Corn, Gorgonzola. Did run that for a long time. New event's been quite fun. Well, glad you've been enjoying the new versions as well. Limbomber asks, will the new pond potion be added to the drop table? We've certainly strongly hinted at that, so I think that wouldn't come as a surprise to any hunters, but we'll have to see what happens come Wednesday. But I think we've hinted at that pretty strongly in the past. Matt, Dave, you sound a bit under the weather. Hope all is well with you. If you're just joining, I am indeed. I'm getting over a little bit of illness. Had quite the sore throat this week, so we will keep Feedback Friday brief. Just a few more minutes here. I won't overdo it with my voice. I'll return to silent working after Feedback Friday here. Yeah, Exalted, do you like predictable events with one or two new surprises with permanent areas coming more often? We're trying to achieve a little bit better of a balance there, and it's a transition. It doesn't happen overnight, but we're slowly I think we're getting better to that, into a better space there. Jonathan asks if there are any plans to make event mice join regular mouse populations. Every now and then we look for an opportunity to do that. There's certainly a lot of event mice. The kind of sporty themed mice that used to be associated with kind of winter summer games events, they did get repurposed into the tournament hall. And so, we do look for opportunities to do that where we can. There's certainly a lot of great winter hunt mice. So it's a big event. But it does, if we keep adding more and more event mice, it makes it a challenge as the events come up. If there are 50 event mice, even if you add them all with equal encounter rate, well, they all have a 2% encounter rate, which makes maps very frustrating because all the mice are very rare all of a sudden. So, so you have different cheese and phases to play with to break up the encounter pools as well. But you do reach a point where you have too many mice for one event. So it's something we've been trying to tone down, find a better balance. And that's why, too, Baba Gaga has returned, and it's still kind of her stomping ground. It's her event. She remains the main antagonist rather than continually adding a new one. And maybe something, in the coming months we'll explore as well on Feedback Friday. Something we're kind of taking that approach of Great Winter Hunt. Maybe we can find a similar narrative that at least for a few years we can repeat and kind of not keep adding more and more event mice and make it harder and harder to kind of divvy them all up and find a unique way to encounter them all. So also good. We have some simple annual events that just repeat, like Ronza coming back every year. I think we'll potentially, we try our best. No event is quite turnkey, though. There's always a little bit of kind of work and testing and everything goes into it. So, it's about kind of trying to find that balance and keeping eyes on feedback just like yours there, and trying to gauge what the player sentiment is versus what we have the capacity to get done, and trying to spend our time wisely. That's our most precious resource, just like in MouseHunt. Your most precious resource is your time. But you can only sound the horn every 15 minutes. Where you choose to sound the horn and how you choose to hunt is your most precious resource of all. And that kind of goes into the development of the game as well. Sure, will we ever get the dev team as mice? I don't think so. I think we like to kind of, just keep ourselves out of the game, at least in terms of that. And a little bit creepy if players were capturing us with some of these traps. I don't know. Jonathan asks if the Relic Hunter season is in November. Absolutely, that is planned to come after the Halloween event. So that's kind of up and in the running as well. Probably be able to get a little bit of feedback on that in the coming weeks as Halloween's running that on. I'm sure that'll be a topic of Feedback Friday in the not too distant future. Jonathan asking for hints on what those new potions up there may be. We're going to let it be a complete surprise. I think the only hint, how about we'll share the name of them? The one's pretty obvious, actually, but the one's called a promotion potion, just because that rolls off the tongue. You need that to be, I don't know, it's just too good of a name to pass up on. And the other one's called a liquid oxygen potion. So we'll kind of leave it open to speculation, see what hunters think those do. And although, hey, Halloween's coming next week, whereas normally we would kind of do a little bit of a preview of an event a couple weeks out, because it's a unique opportunity to get early impressions, sentiment from players, as well as get their kind of ideas of how that might work, to see if our ideas align with expectations. And it's a unique opportunity to incorporate player feedback before something's released. But just kind of the way the timetables worked out, like I said, I was off for a couple weeks there. It just got, the Halloween Feedback Friday has landed kind of awfully close to the release. It's just hard asking if there's plans for individual scoreboards for mice. That is one of my passion projects I would love to see into the game. Unfortunately, just no immediate plans to pursue that. But it would be awfully fun to see, where you rank in terms of, master the dojo. How many have I caught? Am I in the top 100 most captures of a specific mouse or something? That sounds kind of neat. And I know I would love to see it, but unfortunately at the moment, no immediate plans to explore that. We've struggled a little bit with scoreboards. We're stretched a bit thin to kind of get something like that up and running. Matt, you think there's a mouse that looks like me? I don't know whether that's a compliment or an insult. I don't know. Michelle thinks it's the drummer. All right, I could maybe see that. Or the Frozen has come up. And I tend to be a little chilly sometimes, Time for trivia. Math. Thank you for the reminder in the chat here. Look at that. We're at the 15-minute mark. I should definitely try not to ramble on for an hour. I should rest my voice here. This week's trivia, in fact, rather than question, answer, reward, it's just going to be reward. It's a freebie this week. Boom. We have this incredibly challenging trivia question for everybody this week. I'll paste this into the chat as well for your clicking convenience. I don't think I've claimed it either myself, so I need to click it. Is the answer 48? Sure. We'll call the answer to this week's question 48. For once, the answer or the guess of 48 is the correct answer. You enjoy 5 super spooky charms from Larry the Friendly Knight to get in the hunting spirit. I'm going to claim mine now. That is actually one that did kind of remind me of one other difference, the Halloween event this year as opposed to last year. I did put that in the chat. Yes, all right. Is via the charm shop, you're going to be able to upgrade your spooky charms directly in a similar fashion to how ancient charms work in the Floating Islands, Spore Charms, and the Fungal Cavern and Folklore Forest. You'll be able to go to the charm shop and exchange 2 of the lower tier plus some gold for 1 of the tier higher. So you can definitely, we're going to kind of keep an eye on feedback there as well, see how that works out for Halloween. If that's well received, it's something we're thinking about bringing to the Great Winter Hunt for your snowball charms. If you want, hey, cool, upgrade them kind of immediately, or you can do them slowly over time, and that'll be a little more efficient. You'll get more bang for your buck, but you have to invest your time to do so. Similar with the birthday party charms as well, and kind of give all those charms a nice little identity where you can have more autonomy to choose the tier that you want to stock up on. KDM, the trivia must have been date related. Dave is too sick for that big of a challenge. I was already pushing the limits of my cognitive ability by trying to say the date of the event. I tried to write it down to avoid disaster. Wednesday, October 12th. And just because I have it from last time I was here, a little reminder as well that we are workshopping some changes to the horn as well. You can watch Feedback Friday from, I think, 3 weeks ago for a deeper dive. Had lots of great feedback then. We incorporated some of it as well. Kind of tweaked the font on the horn to be more similar to what is currently in the game. and travel as well. Hunter on Discord had a great point, great piece of feedback that sometimes you travel just to quickly look at the HUD and then go back to where you were. You know, maybe you're going to snipe a mouse for a map, or maybe you're working on a King's Crown or something, and you just kind of want to see what's my state of my area there. You know, what wave of the warpath was I on? What's my current hallway in the labyrinth or something like that? And it's a little annoying when you travel, then if we take you back to camp, you got to go back to travel and go, you know, adds more clicks. So that's some great feedback, and we incorporated that now. Instead, when you travel, we know we won't bring you back to camp like we were originally thinking. And a little message pops up right next to the travel button that says you've journeyed to wherever, and there's a button to return to camp. So at least makes it easier to get back to camp, less scrolling. But the choice is yours, what you want to have happen. I clicked the wrong button. Matt, you're definitely right. I don't need to be sick to be defeated by dates. And on that misclick note, I bet you my cognitive ability is starting to shrink here. I think I will return to resting my voice. But, you know, as mentioned, I thought, hey, I haven't seen everybody in a couple weeks. So I thought I'd pop on and say a quick hello. Let everybody know Halloween is on its way next week. Like I said, Wednesday, Monday's a holiday here in Canada. It's our Thanksgiving. So the team will be off that day. And then Tuesday, we kind of do our last minute checklist, give everything one last run through. You know, it's just that, it's that comfort to play through everything one more time and see, nope, everything's good. We don't, you know, there's no showstoppers. You kind of organize the last minute little launch preparations, make our final to-do lists, if you will, for launch day. And then the next day, bright and early with a coffee in hand, roll out the Halloween event. So thanks so much for joining me, everybody. Apologies for a bit of a brief feedback Friday this week, but I'm going to rest up the voice. Likely be Jacob next week, or you know, maybe me. I don't know. We don't have a plan quite yet, but hopefully I'm good and healthy, can hang out with everybody for a little bit longer next time I host Feedback Friday. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Good remainder of your Friday. Enjoy the Halloween event coming on Wednesday, and I'll catch you next time.
You're a trap, don't seem to mind it. You attract me, I'm a mouse, you're a cat. I don't seem to mind it. Soft and furry. Oh, and just when I think I'm safe, snap. Turns out I'm never safe, snap. Just when you think you're safe, snap. I come back. Don't seem to mind it, but I'm a fool. Broke my back. You don't seem to mind it, 'cause you're so cruel. And just when I think I'm safe, snap. Turns out I'm never safe, snap. Ooh. And just when you think you're safe, snap. Turns out